Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi guys, welcome to our new podcast, Heroes Day Special Podcast Spennamda. But first, we should probably introduce ourselves. My name is Muhammad Raza Zuldhan from 80.
I'm Masayuki ishida from 8C.
Okay, how is your day today, by the way?
My day is pretty good. Like, training in the field.
I know. You skip lesson,
You got it, man. Nice.
Best. Okay, question number 1. Why is Heroes Day celebrated on November 10th?
It is celebrated on November 10th to commemorate the fighters who sacrificed their lives in the defense of city of Surabaya to delay the Allied forces their valuable city to capture the others, to destroy the whole Indonesian Republic.
Just for spies.
Spies. They didn't use spies because, their spies is busy in the Soviet Union at that time.
But it's kind of expensive if they take from Soviet Union. If it's more, what is it called? More.
The Cold War?
No. Lebih menguntungkan.
It's more. Oh, it's not more. It's not anymore. It's kind of waste their time to retake their spies from Soviet Union to deploy in Surabaya, because some big friends from the British.
Yeah, I know. History. Okay. Question number 1. Question number 2. What happened on 10 November?
In 10th November, the Allied forces led by the British Army launched a massive offensive on the city of Surabaya. And the Surabaya actually is prepared to hopefully, I guess, repel the British, but they only managed to delay the British 3 weeks.
Yeah.
3 weeks, only 3 weeks, but it's still impressive when you have a tank and armored vehicles and armored man and armored, and speed. You're famous for speed. Yeah.
Forgot for the bomb.
And you're fighting against some teenage boy with one spiky boy. That bamboo runcing. And fun fact, the Indonesian fighters actually killed 2 generals from the British.
Damn, 2 the generals. Okay.
They killed the generals because, they were in the field just assessing the situation and
that was just accidentally.
I think it's accidental because, someone threw a bomb. Yeah, because they want to kill the British inside the building and it landed in a car where the British general inside.
Oh.
I think the British general inside was like, oh no.
Yes.
Yeah.
That just go there.
That is golden time.
Yep. Okay. Where are you from?
I'm originally born in Jepara in central Java, but I've lived most of my life in Surabaya because of my grandparents.
Yeah, more capital. Can you name any words from Surabaya?
Bung Tomo, I only know Bung Tomo from Surabaya.
Bung Tomo, and do you have a favorite hero?
I have. It's Bung Tomo and Sudirman.
And why Bung Tomo is your favorite hero?
Because Bung Tomo gave a speech about giving the Indonesian fighters some the fire to fight against the British, because at that time the fighters is small, but thanks to Bung Tomo's speech against the British, it's well in numbers.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so big. In fact, it's the reason that the British is been delayed 3 weeks because of the superior numbers from the Indonesian fighters. Yeah, and kind of Bung Tomo is that mustache.
Ah, yes,
That mustache.
yes.
Yeah.
Pretty authentic.
Yeah, it's awesome.
How about the Sudirman? What, and just why?
Sudirman, because he's got the respect of the soldiers, you know, like other generals at the time, kind of, you know, commanding armies, like wanting respect. But it's different. He deserved the respect. He got the deserve from his men. His men were so inspired by him. They literally, like, you know, banzai to the enemy. And yeah, he is also fighting in the front lines before he was forced in the back lines because of his tuberculosis. And fun fact, he was actually fasting one day after another. So today he is fasting, tomorrow he is not, tomorrow again he's fasting again. So you know, that kind of accelerated his tuberculosis thing. And he also repelled the British and the Netherlands offensive on the city of you know that city that he repelled the army there, the division there, with tanks, armored cars, bazookas, fully armed men. While Sudirman's men is only armed with, you know, submachine guns, machine guns, all that.
Don't forget Spiky Boy.
Yeah, that spiky boy.
Got a weapon.
Damn.
Just okay. What did Bung Tomo do for Indonesia?
What did Bung Tomo do?
Like and others.
I only know about his speech, but his speech is empowering to say the least. You know, about the fighters in Surabaya, but his speech is broadcast around Indonesia.
Yes.
So it fired
from radio. Breaking cold.
It fired the souls inside the Indonesian people to fight against the oppressors, against the Western powers trying to conquer us again. They were so inspired. They kind of, like, you know, repelled the British against the British against the Surabaya. They repelled the British in Lombok, I guess. They delayed the Netherlands time to invade the capital, protect the Sukarno from the capture, and forcing him to surrender.
I know that.
And famously, that one, the city that been burned, Bandung, because the Netherlands demanded the city for surrender. Yeah, they kind of want the city to be burned, all of it. But unfortunately, the Netherlands stopped it for, you know, the whole city being burned down. But still, burning down a half of the third biggest city in Indonesia at that time.
And just how Netherlands
just, you know, throwing fireside, you know, the the former Japanese armory filled with gunpowder. So it kind of exploded from there, and it spread through the sewers, through the, you know, the buildings. At the time, because the buildings were made from wood, and flammable wood, even worse. So yeah, you know what happened there.
just like a sea.
Yeah.
Fire.
The Sea of Fire. It's like a scene from a movie of The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. I remember that.
Oh, the Sea of Fire. The dragon, you know, firing down on the city. Oh, that.
Okay. Back to the question. Why November 10th should be commemorated?
The November 10th should be commemorated because it symbolized our sacrifice against the oppressors and the who wants to take back our lands, who wants to force us to back to slavery. They fight for their lives, for their nation, just so as to exist today.
Remember what their sacrifice.
Yeah, their sacrifice is the one thing that made us today. And why November 10th? Because November 10th is the starting point of the Indonesian revolution wars against the Allied forces. And we got our independence in 1949. Technically 1949 because the Netherlands won't give up because that thing is mine, they said.
History. Okay. By the way, have you ever been to Heroes Monument?
Heroes Monument?
Yep.
I've never been to there, but I've heard from people it's amazing there. It's a museum, and my favorite part, the guns.
The gun section,
Love that. I want to see it, but I cannot see it because of COVID. But when COVID is over, I want to see there. And when school is, over, done.
Like, holidays.
Yeah, holidays. I want to see there, to see the guns and the history of that guns.
If I can touch it, I'm gonna brought that thing home. That is so cool.
Yeah, but that's the problem. The Indonesian government doesn't allow you to have guns and money problems.
Kinda
That thing
expensive.
is expensive as
And then just for a gun, not the ammo yet.
Not the ammo, it's for the guns. And don't tell me about the maintenance. Oh man, if you don't maintenance that thing, that will blow up on your face.
Just okay.
Damn.
Okay, I think that's enough for today, right?
Yeah, I think it's enough.
Me as Kenzie,
And me as Masayuki.
thank you for watching our podcast.
And
Wassalamualaikum
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.